Can you take a blog post or maybe even a series of blog posts and turn it into a brand new, profitable content empire? We're going to answer that question in just a moment. One to episode 93 of the Content Profit Show. And that means, at least where I went to school, 93 is barreling down on 100. So we'll be celebrating 100 episodes real soon. I'm not sure how we're going to do it, but we're going to do it. I was thinking about it this morning. I'm gone a week this month, so it may not be until I get back. Now, I didn't tell you this in the green room, Dawn, but I got some flack about doing this on July 4th. On a holiday, and I mean, I understand it. I mean, why celebrate freedom by helping people help people? I mean, come on, you know. I want to welcome Dawn Browning. She is the founder of Whole Soul Wellness to the show. Welcome, Dawn.
Oh, thank you and welcome. And to that Flack comment, I'm glad that you're doing. I booked it on July 4th, so it's me, and I also have a full-time job, so it's a holiday today, so it makes me
Yes,
available.
works out perfectly.
So
Right?
pardon,
Yeah.
Jeff. It's my fault.
I like that. I like that. All right, we're gonna dive over and take a look at your blog post here, and that's what we'll look at next. But for now, I'm probably going to mispronounce it now, but how pranayama, did I get it right?
You did.
Pranayama can benefit you. Okay. Now, for the audience, whether they're live or on replay, whether podcast or live cast, I think the question is going to be, what is this pranayama stuff, Gail? So, Reader's Digest version, what is this?
Pranayama is one of the ancient practices from yoga, so codified in the Indian culture thousands of years ago. And it's the process or act of enhancing your awareness of prana. The next question might be, what is prana? And prana is that it's commonly defined as life force energy. It's that it's what animates life. It's your life begins on the first breath in and it ends on the last breath out. And everything in between is what we call life. And prana is that force. So it's.
I love that definition.
Yeah.
I love that. And so, how'd you get into this? Because you shared with me, you've got a scientist side, and then I don't want to say that it's both science, but you're a researcher and you do this. So
yeah,
help us with that. How'd you get into that?
I kind of joke that I've got 1 foot rooted in hard science and 1 foot rooted in woo-woo, but actually I need to edit that on my webpage because yoga is not woo-woo. It is, in fact, like the science of good living, is how my teacher, Yogacharya, Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani, and who I must acknowledge for this.
I'm impressed that you can say all those syllables.
Defines it. So, but how I got into it, I mean, I kind of now see that it is really the same. There is just two sides. We all have we all have like kind of one part analytical side or hard science or good with numbers, and then the other side that may more interested in the creative arts or reading, and we do both. And I really now see that they both elevate each other and support me to be the best version of myself, which is ultimately the whole goal of yoga. How I got into it though was it started as a passion project, and then I had a profound pivot point when I was at a yoga therapy training, a 14-day training in an ashram outside of Austin, Texas. And I also live with type 1 diabetes. I have an insulin pump and a CGM, other arm. And I had a bout of prolonged hyperglycemia, or where my blood sugar was above 300 for more than 24, almost 36 hours. And I was doing all the things. I've lived with diabetes for 37 years. And it was a an impromptu session with my teacher at that time, Joseph LePage, that involved conscious breathing, guided relaxation, and my blood sugar just instantly dropped to within the normal level. And that's when I realized I was keeping my blood sugar elevated by being so anxious about it.
Right.
And I thought, this is not only, I have to share this with people, like I need to continue studying with it. And the pranayama piece was an option um, by the senior teachers of the tradition that I study in, that started a year and a half ago. And it's been amazing. It's such a potent aspect of yoga that really has made my life amazing in so many ways, and that's partly what motivated me to write the blog.
Yay. And so this is one of the things I love about what I do is I get to learn all these things from amazing people because I've always believed there's more out there than we know about. So
Yeah.
this is awesome. And so is this article. Let's kind of take a look here. Cool logo, by the way.
Thanks.
Okay, what it is, we talked about that a little bit. And folks, pay attention to this setup because you can set up a lot of content this way. What it is, how it can benefit. And there's 6 of them there, okay? And then energetic benefits. Look at all the benefits. I love it. And then even, okay, how to get started. See, that's left out of most content. Nicely done. Now there's one
Yeah.
part up here. Where are the 6? Look at that. Respiratory health, your mood, better sleep, more energy, overall vitality. Now, who wouldn't want that? We're going to come back to that as we put together the content profit model that we've got going here. All right, so blank now. We're going to start with Dawn's blog post and the additional related posts. We're going to find a way to use those too. And now this is a rough draft. We can add to it, take away. You can say, Jeff, you missed it, whatever. All right, so taking this blog post, let's go to the first, what I call the lowest hanging fruit, because what I want to help people do is get that income coming in. What's the quickest way to do that is what I look at. And oftentimes, well, back up. We'll get traffic to all this stuff through your content using Medium, email, webinar, social, Substack, other stuff. And then short-term coaching groups or coaching programs. And my favorite, Dawn, is a one-shot deal. Okay. And I'll invite 5 people to do this with me around one topic. Like the first time I did it, it was a website review. Way back in the early part of this century, when it was just teleseminar. So we weren't even looking at the website together. I was looking at it and offering tips. And it was amazing because I charged $150 for 5 people, and a little under 2 hours later, I was up $750, and I thought, I like this. And even better, a lot of those people wanted to continue in some way. So when I was looking at those 6 things, I was thinking about this because for you, what would be the simplest thing you could deliver to somebody in 20 minutes, 5 different people in 20 minutes? And, it might be like an hour and 15 minutes. I mean, an hour and 45 minutes, sorry.
Well, I guess funny you should ask because I have a live workshop scheduled at my local yoga studio that's 90 minutes, but that'll be the embodied practice with movements and whatnot. But as part of this, but I think for this type of offer that you just described, I think a short introduction to what prana and pranayama is, much like we've opened with today, so that people kind of understand, because much of what's out there about it, you might find on the web, just doesn't capture the full essence of it. And then I think giving people an idea of the different types of benefits that you can experience.
Mhm.
And that I think kind of imparting the importance of understanding that you're a multidimensional being, you're not just this body. And
Right.
and I think each person may need more attention to certain parts, whether it's the mental or the emotional or the physical aspect of that. And then a guided awareness or a breath practice that could support that understanding for themselves.
And they're going to leave there feeling better and wanting more, right?
I would hope that's my intention,
Well,
certainly to
yeah,
feel better.
yeah. Unless they get in their own way. And so, I've got listed lower prices, 37 to 47 to get buying behavior, but you can do more. Um, now, this is where I talked about the multiple blog posts. Um, that original blog post we looked at, there is a lot in there. That could be a course easy. What it is, benefits, how to do them, that kind of thing. Or we could take all 5 of the blog posts you sent me, and each one of those could become a module. Okay.
Mm,
So there's 2 ways to go about this, at least 2. Um, put in a course together. A flagship course is something that you're known for. Um,
okay.
and you're certainly known for this. The cool thing about these, whether we do it, excuse me, with one article or one blog post or 5, is that what you can do is once you created that course, you can create 5 more mini courses by just pulling out each module.
Right.
Okay, and at a lower price, but high enough so where, let's say this one went for 197, the course. I would have the mini courses be around 97, so that getting the whole course just makes more sense. You know, um,
Mhm.
and like they take one and they want to take some more. Cool thing about short-term coaching is about 25% of those people go on to other stuff with you. With courses, about a third of those people go on to more, and what 50%, when 50% go on, it usually comes from short-term continuity. And I forgot to ask you at the beginning when we were talking, do you have any continuity membership sites, clubs?
I don't
Okay.
actually. Um, yeah, I don't. The closest I would have to that, and there's like kind of two elements of my business. One is the service-based
Right.
education with yoga, and then another part is using plant essences, essential oils to kind of fortify, if you will, the practices that we do in yoga. And they're very, very versatile. There's education with both. And with that, there are some people that opt in to buy every month,
Hmm.
but it's not necessarily something that I govern or offer
Okay.
specifically. So
Okay.
I think in the traditional sense, no, I don't.
Okay. So would it be okay if we got you some ongoing monthly income?
I think that would sounds lovely.
Okay, good, good. You mentioned the essential oils, and I've always been amazed by the power of smell
Hmm.
because I can smell that dank, dusty, damp kind of smell from a place that's been closed up a while
Yeah.
and feel great and smile because that's how my first grad school apartment smelled like.
Mm.
And so many good things happen in that place. So, even a yucky smell can link to something positive. You get all those positive essential oils. My goodness.
Well, and you've just demonstrated with that story, Jeff, the power or the mechanism of the amygdala in the base of the brain.
Mhm.
So that's where you store your memories and emotions, and so that's what's associated with that smell that's picked up in the nose. So,
It's
um,
amazing. It's
mhm.
amazing. Combine that with some nice jazz music, and I'll be back to 1980 like that. Um, okay, short-term continuity. Um, it's a good thing to have because some people get worried about monthly continuity. Am I stuck forever? How do I get out?
Yeah.
Short-term continuity can be like it can be a 6, 8, 10, 12 week program. Or we could do those 6 things in this and make it about 8 weeks. Um, the cool thing about it is that, again, people are getting a greater feel for you because,
Mhm.
you're doing this at least initially live. Um, and then a couple ways to do it. You can just do it and that's it, or you can ask them to send in, give them assignments and ask them to send them in, and you know, give them feedback or whatever. A cool thing about this, let's say that you charged $47 a month for this thing, and you guys are together, say 8 to 10 weeks. What that's getting people used to is paying you $47 a month. So when it comes time to offer them the monthly continuity, you know, it's easy. We'll just keep doing what you've been doing, and we'll keep going. And the beautiful thing about any of the short-term or long-term continuity is you're going to do the same thing, whether there's 1, 10, 100, or 1,000 people
Right.
there. And so I'm looking at your stuff, and you know, we got to come up with a whole lot sexier name than monthly continuity. Um, you know, what pops to mind for you? What would you call a membership for what you do?
Goodness. And for the audience that's listening now or in the future, this is not rehearsed. I'm totally on the spot. Had no idea he was going to ask this question. Let's see. Um, mm,
Because I mean, I've heard people lately. I've been keeping track of all the names of different things like society, club,
yeah.
institute, membership.
Yeah. You know, the first thing that came to mind is Holy You. And
Ooh, I
like
like.
WHOLY,
Yeah.
like not HOLY, but well, yeah, Holy You. Um, I don't know how, because right now, and again, this is my first response to it, which I love.
Sure.
It's very spontaneous, but this monthly program that we're talking about really would definitely involve a pranayama practice together,
Mhm.
and could weave in other aspects and dimensions of what I do with leadership and aroma and ultimately with tools to feel more comfortable in your being,
Mhm.
and maybe in some cases even better understanding who you are and why you're here.
Mhm. I
Um,
love that name, Holy You, and it plays well off your brand, Whole Soul, right?
yep. Yeah.
Um, and so I'm real big on two things about service delivery: that it's simple as possible
Hmm.
for us, and then easily consumable for them. And it used to be in the old days, you know, you wanted to just give them 87 videos and 200 PDFs, and nobody ever went through it all. Um, and so one way to do it is you can because you could come up with what you've got, Dawn, with so many courses that could be in a membership site. Um, and then, you know, 2 meetings a month, one where you take them through something, you teach them something, you work them through something, and the other one's a Q&A where people just get to ask questions. Um, that way it's easy for you to do. You're not like chained to this membership site. And that way they're not overwhelmed either. One of the first ones of mine that was successful, we taught 5 different things a month.
Hmm.
And the fun part of it was my then 14-year-old son would ask the questions that I would answer, read the questions people sent in. But what happened is that the people that were dropping out, they couldn't keep up. They felt like they couldn't keep up. Um,
Hmm.
so here's a buddy of mine, old soul, that can relate to this stuff. I think you could build something cool around the word essence.
Thank you, Phil. I love that suggestion.
Isn't that a cool idea?
Yeah,
The
it is.
essence of you, or
Yep.
holy essence, or something.
Yep.
Something. Yeah, he's a good idea, man. Thanks for being here,
Wonderful.
pal. All
Happy
right.
4th.
That's right. Yay. Uh, you got a little bit of that rebellious side in you too, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, this making sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Giving you a glimpse of what's possible, maybe a glimpse of the future.
Yeah, it is great to toss. I think these are good ideas and definitely excellent fodder for like thinking about how to structure things.
I love it. I'll start telling people I provide excellent fodder. People look at me funny, but that's okay.
Oh, something funny that came up while we were talking before, if you don't mind, I'd like to
No,
share. It
please.
was like there were a couple of things that you responded to, and I really appreciated. It was when I said the body is brilliant, and
Yes,
something that we were talking
I love
about,
that.
and I guess that's mainly the main thing. But then
Yeah,
there were
yeah,
just some good little quips in there.
I love it. I wrote that down and holy you, and then yeah, good stuff. Well, like I told you, fastest 20 minutes ever. We got to head to wrap up time. Thank you, Dawn, for bringing
Oh,
good
thank you,
stuff
Jeff.
and for being such a great guest.
Mhm.
You and I will talk a little bit afterwards. And folks, we got a new sponsor I want to let you all know about. And I, haven't said this much, so I'm going to have to read it. Okay. Our newest sponsor for clothing and snacks for our shows is hardsellingrus.com. If you're tired of those helpful invitations you extend to your customers, join us at Hard Selling R Us and discover how to hard sell like a used car salesman with a mortgage payment due, just like all those other slimy gurus. Do it today or be broke tomorrow. Now, for any of you that are typing in Hard Selling R Us, I checked it. It doesn't exist. I made this up yesterday, but you got to play with this stuff. Okay. Well, that's the last time I'm going to tell anybody that that's not real. So you'll have
Okay, thank you, because I'm like, I can't smile.
no, that's
I
not.
don't have much of a poker face.
I could tell. I could tell. No, and that's one reason why I said I'm teasing,
Yeah.
um, because I think this stuff should be fun, you know. Um, and so for all of you out there, anybody that wants to be sitting in Dawn's seat, not in her home, but in your own home or office in the content profit seat, the link is right below my name, right about there, jeffherring.com/profit. And we'll get you scheduled. We are now, God, is it July already? July's almost full. We're scheduling for August and September now. So if you want to get over there, thank you, Chris. Look at this. Jeff, the fodder man. I really shouldn't have said that because I probably won't live it down now.
Now that's your new moniker.
I love it. I love it. Again, thank you so much, Dawn.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jeff.
And folks, as always, you go use this stuff, and we'll catch you on the next show.